Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elle and I am an interiors and DIY blogger, and today I'm going to be doing the DIY chain link decor piece. If you've not seen these chain decor pieces, they are these like links that pretty much everyone that I know has in their home. I've seen them all over Instagram and Pinterest and interior magazines. They're just a great little draping piece, like over some coffee table books, on a shelf, just adding a little bit of texture and interest to a styling moment. And I have wanted one of these in our home for such a long time, but they can be quite expensive and also very difficult to get a hold of here in the UK. I only know of a couple of places that are selling them that are good quality, and they are very spendy. So much like with these pieces whereby I just can't part with my cash, I'm going to attempt to DIY it and see if it was actually worth DIYing it versus buying the piece in general. So these are my inspo pictures. There's so many different like kind of styles and materials and textures that I use. The one in particular that I love the most is the kind of matte black ones, which are almost a little bit not quite smooth, a little bit irregular kind of thing, which I think people would find surprising. I think people would naturally assume that I would be more interested in the more wooden ones, but in actual fact the black one just has a bit more depth and a little bit more interest, particularly the restoration hardware ones that I've seen. So that is the ones that I'm going to try and recreate today. So I'm starting this from the beginning. I'm literally beginning this project today. As far as I am aware, you only need two things in order to do this DIY, which is modelling clay and black spray paint. Now granted, you could probably go for normal black paint, but because I wanted the gloss look as if they were metallic rings, which I think the restoration hardware ones are, I've gone with a gloss spray paint. But this clay, modelling clay, you can get pretty much anywhere. It's absolutely amazing. I will link all the pieces here that I bought down below in the description if you're interested in buying the exact same stuff I did. Now I have used this modelling clay before on another very similar DIY project when I DIY'd the Studio McGee knot. Again, another DIY project of a home decor piece that I desperately wanted in my home but couldn't get here in the UK, so I just made it myself. And I remember the last time I used this clay, it was really difficult to bake. It took forever, and I think part of that reason was because of how chunky the knot was. If you've ever seen it, it is like a big chunky piece. So I think this might go a bit quicker because the link decor pieces aren't as chunky. They've still got a bit of obviously width and depth to them, but they're not as they're not thick. So I'm assuming this DIY won't take me too long at all. I'm kind of pottering around the house, which is perfect for this kind of DIY today, because obviously a lot of the time will be taken in the drying process between each link, so I'll just be going back and forward to do it. Okay, so let's get going with this DIY. So we can put the paint to one side for the moment, won't need that until probably tomorrow. For today we're going to use the clay, and we've got a little bowl of water to keep everything nice and smooth and sticking together. I've got my chopping board. Alright, let's go with this. I've made my first link. You would have seen I had a couple of attempts trying to do the link because I'm a perfectionist and everything has to be perfect, and it wasn't perfect and this doesn't feel perfect, but this is the best we're going to do because we are not going to achieve perfection on our own. So I've got this like this. Now you could probably leave this overnight to dry obviously that's going to make your DIY a little bit longer. Like I said, I am going to be pottering around the house, actually going to go and work on a different DIY in a bit upstairs, so I'm just going to leave this in the oven and see where we are within an hour of how dry it is and everything like that. So pop it in the oven. I've got the oven on at about 100 degrees, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I will put it somewhere here what it is. And yeah, I'm just going to bake it for an hour and see where we are. So I think it should be fine because it's fairly like thin but still thick, if that makes sense. So we'll see where we are in an hour. Okay, it's been about an hour later, and as you can see, it is lovely and dry. It's still a little squishy, but we want that because obviously we're going to keep putting it in the oven time and time again. So that's going to be nice. So yeah, it's coming on lovely. I have this sanding block that I use for many other stuff, and I just want to quickly go over everything, make sure it's nice and smooth. We still want that texture, but just everything nice and neat. And then from there, we can make the second link and keep the process going. So that's the plan for the next bit. Okay, second ring has been done, and there's a couple of things to mention. Number one, top was infiltrated. Oh well, I'm going to cover it up with a coat later anyway when I go out, so no one's going to be none the wiser. Number two, I have noticed the clay rolls a lot better when it's not wet. I think this is me going back to like my GCSE years of doing clay work, whereby it's like always wet the cake, always wet it, but this stuff seems to work better in terms of rolling and sculpting it when you don't, but you can still use a little bit of water just to smooth everything out. Number three, you'll see that like I put a bit of tin foil around the first link, and that is to make sure that when this link dries it doesn't stick and they don't dry as one, because we still want the links to move smoothly and everything like that. So I've got that there. And the final thing is I've propped this ring up a little bit so that the weight of this doesn't smush it and make it all flat, because I still want it quite nice and smooth and everything like that. So I'm going to bake this for an hour, and then I will go to the third ring probably tomorrow or later on this evening once I've done everything. So I will come back to you once the whole thing has been completed with it. So I did the third one. I had to fill in some of the cracks with some excess clay, which is always a good thing to have on hand just to kind of fill it in, but I didn't, again, want to get rid of a lot of the texture. I've sanded them down so they're nice and smooth, even though they've still got that kind of like nice little creases to it and everything like that. And now it's time to spray. And you would have seen this at the beginning of the video, but we're going to use this matte black spray because again I wanted that look from the Restoration Hardware pair that I'd seen on their website. So I'm going to go and spray this outside for safety reasons. If you're like me, you've probably not taken out the recycling when you said you were going to do, so you've got a cardboard box lying around somewhere in your home, so go grab that now, don't throw it away. And what I will do is use the cardboard box just to protect the outside plus myself and spray these in there. Now obviously you need to do a 360 with these, so my recommendation would be light touches, go one side, let it touch dry, then turn it over. According to this, it is touch dry after 40 to 60 minutes, so it's going to be a long process, but it's going to be 100% worth it. The other thing you don't want to do as while these are drying is have them moving, because it's just going to knock all that paint off and stuff like that. So slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins. Oh my god. Slow and steady wins the race. There we go. All right. So you know, just take your time with it. So let's go and spray these, and I will come back to you guys when these are completed, because this is it. This is it now. It's just this, and we are done with this DIY project. So let's get going. Okay, I'm just coming in with a really quick reminder. Be careful with the clay. Like, just be careful. This is just from sanding, I think, but that is a jumper for the wash. That is not coming off with just a light brush, so do be careful, guys. Just be careful. And that is the DIY completed. I will admit it turned out so much better than I expected. It was a bit touch and go, but it is so good. It looks amazing on my coffee table. Like, I can't stop staring at it right now in front of me. In terms of DIY, I would say it is not that hard to do. However, I will caveat that with you have to be patient with clay work, which clearly I wasn't. You really just have to take your time. So it's definitely a project to do when you've got a free weekend and you've not got a lot on, and just kind of devote some time to it. Like, you'll be able to knock this out in no time and look amazing. I will, as usual with these videos, put the average price of ones and similar ones you can find on the market, and I will put how much it actually cost me to make this. I would say if you can't get the one you're looking at in the store, it's a good one to do because the cost is so much less than what you would find at retail price, and it looks so similar to the Restoration Hardware one. I mean, I have not seen the real Restoration Hardware one because it's not available here in the UK, but picture wise it's pretty spot on, so I give myself props for that. So let me know if you attempt this DIY in the comments below. I'd love to know how you guys got on, how you found it, what technique and finish you went with yours. Like this video if you found it useful, and do subscribe if you're not already. I am aiming to get 500 subscribers by the end of November to kind of tie in with my birthday, so a little happy birthday to me. So if you're not subscribed already, do hit that subscribe button because it'd mean the world to me if I can get 500 very soon. I'm so close, so close. I just need a few more people. And so again, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I will be back next week with the final installment of my coffee shop makeover, which I cannot wait to show you guys the finished results. So much has happened, and oh my god, you guys are gonna love it. So I will have that video going out next Sunday. I will also have more room makeovers happening in the house. I will have more DIYs, more vlogs coming very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on everything. And I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.